Shabbat Shalom. Now, I know it's tough, but I really think it's incumbent upon me as a rabbi to talk about the things in the news. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Everyone's talking about it. It's literally everywhere. From the network news to local TV stations, newspapers, social media, it's all over social media. And I really think when something is this relevant and this topical, it means it's on the forefront of everybody's minds. And so we're really doing ourselves no favors by avoiding it, even if we'd rather not have to go into it. So I beg your indulgence to talk just a little bit about the solar eclipse. What'd you think I was going to say? But it really is everywhere, though, right? Like, literally everywhere. People are driving out to, like, God knows where, because that's 100% totality. We're only 94% here in Houston. The schools are planning their school day around it. I looked up the dang weather report just for Sunday, because I'm supposed to take, like, 30 third graders strawberry picking this Sunday. And, oh, there it is. How the weather will affect your eclipse viewing. And somehow, I have gained a reputation for teaching stuff in Judaism that's just a little bit out there. Because, you teach a few dozen classes on Judaism and astrology and amulets and demons and all that fun stuff, and suddenly you're the go-to gal for the off-the-beaten-path stuff. It's really weird. I brought it on myself. Anyway, at this point, I have lost count. How many people have asked me in the past few weeks, hey, Rabbi Fort, what does Judaism teach that it means when there's a solar eclipse? So look, I am tired of thinking about the eclipse. I'm tired of talking about the eclipse. Nothing would make me happier than to say nothing. Judaism has nothing to say about a solar eclipse. Alas, there's literally thousands of years of Jewish teachings on just the meaning behind a solar eclipse. Really, for all ancient people, seeing a solar eclipse, they must have been horrified if you think about it, because they're just simply going about, their day-to-day stuff when suddenly the sun was blacked out. That would have been traumatizing for ancient people. The sun, the only reliable source of light, kept them safe, made their crops grow, source of heat. There's a reason the sun used to be worshipped as a literal god. And then suddenly, it's gone. Horrifying. For many ancient people, a solar eclipse was a harbinger of bad things. For ancient Judaism, I'll let you decide. Bizman she'achama loka, when the sun is eclipsed, this is the ancient rabbis in the Talmud, siman ra lechol ha'olam kulo. It is a bad omen for the entire world, which seems rather definitive. But don't worry, there's more. There's so much more. More details. It doesn't get better. Panav domim ledam, if the face of the sun during an eclipse is looking like dam, blood, if it's red, meaning. Cherev ba'leolam, it is an omen that a sword, meaning war, is coming to the world. Oh, great. That's super great. Yeah. Luckily, the other rabbis, starting in ancient times, through the medieval period, up and through now, took issue with that very first interpretation, and it's not because they were such sunshiny optimists. Their problem with it was theological. An eclipse, even a total solar eclipse, while unusual, is not a once-in-a-lifetime event. It's a phenomenon, yes, but it's a natural one. If you miss this eclipse, you only have to wait 20 years, and there will be another one. August 23rd, 2044. It'll cut across like Vermont, Maine area. So it's going to happen again, and frankly, not that far in the future. And people have known this for a very long time. Even hundreds of years ago, they knew that solar eclipses happen. And that while they might be a little scary pre-electricity, they just happen. They're a part of the natural order of things. So the problem for the rabbis was this. If solar eclipses are just part of the normal order of the world, they're naturally occurring, how can they be a sign from God of something bad? This is what I meant by the rabbis having a theological problem with that very first explanation, one that was honestly very common in the ancient world. But the rabbis asked, how can it be a sign from God of something bad if it happens, maybe not all the time, but not never? Well, a theological problem requires a theological solution. We Jews, honestly, we're predisposed to look up at the heavens only in wonder and awe. One of my absolute favorite lines from the Psalms, Hashemayim misabrim kavod el, the heavens declare the glory of God. I love it so much I have a poster of it in my office, and I don't got that much stuff up on the walls. We Jews look to the moon and stars and planets, and we are supposed to go, wow, what an amazing world we live in. What amazing creations we are surrounded by. Could such awe-inspiring showcases be a portend of something destructive? Our ancients and others overwhelmingly believed that's not possible. They explained that the sun stands for all that is good, the sun which provides illumination and heat. That is the essence of God's goodness. The bright light, the warm rays, they are as close to being embraced by God's self as you can experience physically. And an eclipse, yeah, it's true, that light, that warmth, the love, the support, they're blocked. We can't see it during an eclipse, can't feel it. And for moments that may feel like an eternity, it may feel like it's going on forever. And in a less civilized time, one may have well thought, well, gosh, it's gone. The light, the warmth, the godliness, it's cold, it's dark, we're bereft. We're all alone here. And there's no one here to be on our side, and in the dark, it's hard not to perceive enemies everywhere. It's hard to see you have a friend in such suffocating darkness. But the rabbis remind us this is an illusion. An eclipse is an illusion. Because is the sun really gone during a solar eclipse? No. The rabbis remind us we can't see it, it's true, we can't feel it. It seems like all is dark and nothing will ever be good and light again. But this is an illusion. It's temporary. It's our temporary viewpoint of the world. Because the sun never actually goes away. That light and heat, the warmth and love, still there. They never actually went everywhere. It was just temporarily obscured by a lot of darkness. Solar eclipses, the rabbis, over and over in our tradition, remind us they are an opportunity for us to remind ourselves that in life sometimes, yeah, it happens in life. In hopefully rare circumstances, it's natural to feel far away from God, from light, from warmth, from hope. To look at the world around us and think, well, this is terrible. I can't imagine it being good ever again. But eclipses, the rabbis remind us, are also an opportunity for us to remind ourselves that light and love and warmth and support and goodness and godliness, they're just a little bit out of our view, for now. That sometimes, unfortunately, in life, there are dark times, but the darkness does not last, and that goodness and godliness are still there. We just might have to squint a little to see them. So I hope you remember, in this admittedly very dark and difficult time we are in now, 6 months is a long time, but it's not forever. I hope you remember, as this eclipse comes upon us, that there is still light and love from each other and from God too. We might just have to work a little bit harder to see it. Might just have to work a little bit harder to be it. Shabbat Shalom.